Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And, well, this is actually the last time I'm going to be saying that, because the Wave 6 DLC is finally here. We have the final 2 cups of the Booster Pass. Today we're going to take a look at them, show off a few other little things here and there. And we're gonna officially close this project for good. So, yeah, pretty exciting stuff. But yep, the Wave 6 DLC came out a few weeks ago. I guess more like 2 weeks ago, but still, you know, it's recent. It's new. I have gotten around to playing it, so naturally, let's go ahead and get the video for this wave. There is actually a new menu option too, but I'll cover that when we actually finish with the courses. But yeah, we're going to once again be playing the 2 new cups. We're going to be doing it on 150cc. And much like the last few waves, we did actually get some new character additions as well. We have the addition of Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and this character right here. Yeah. Very quickly, let's have a little flashback to the previous video I did for this series. We have 2 characters left. I think one of them is going to be a Donkey Kong character. It's either going to be Diddy Kong, because Diddy Kong's like a classic character from the Mario Kart series, or it's going to be Funky Kong, in tribute to Mario Kart Wii, because, you know, Donkey Kong, or Funky Kong was like such a huge character in that game. And I think the other character, I think it's gonna... So yeah, pretty exciting stuff that I actually, you know, kind of predicted who the new characters were gonna be. I honestly didn't expect all 3 of them to be included by any means, but still, it was really nice to have all of these. Also, in addition to these 4 characters, the Mii characters also got an update where you actually have some additional Mii costumes as well. Question Block, Toadette, Chain Chomp, Dolphin, Blooper, Para, Biddybud, Birdo, Wiggler, Moo Moo Suit, Goomba Suit, PD Piranha Suit, Ice Cream Suit, Koopa Clown Car, Pokey Suit, Cheep Suit, Dry Bowser Suit, the Castle Suit. This is the Kirby suit, which is, you know, unlocked through the amiibo, so I don't have to really go over that. But yeah, these were some other additions as well. But we're going to be playing as the new characters, of course. And I really want to play as either of these 2 characters, but I also want to play as Pauline, too. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just very quickly flip a coin. Funky Kong is going to be heads. Diddy Kong is going to be tails. We are going to get tails, so we're actually going to be playing as Diddy Kong first. And I'll go ahead and I'll stick with the Mr. Scooty. Or actually, no, I'll go with the Biddy Buggy, because I do like that one as well. Sorry, I haven't really, you know, done much with my vehicle customization for these DLC waves, but you know, I have my preference as far as kart choices are concerned. But yeah, we have the Acorn Cup and the Spiny Cup. We're going to start with the Acorn Cup. We have Rome Avanti from Mario Kart Tour. We have DK Mountain from Mario Kart Double Dash, Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii, and Piranha Plant Cove, which is technically also from Tour. But, you know, those courses were kind of like... Those courses are always weird, because when it comes to the Tour courses, they try to make, like, the real-world locations kind of the Tour courses. I kind of feel like the other courses were just ones that were... You know, they were made initially for Mario Kart Tour, but they kind of had maybe this DLC in mind. So as a result, you know, they're not marked as Tour, even though they technically did debut in Tour. Speaking of Mario Kart Tour, I think they're actually, like, stopping with, like, new updates for that. Which, again, I don't play Mario Kart Tour. I know nothing about that. The only info I have in regards to that are just, like, you know, small little updates and just general info for how the game actually works from hearing, like, friends talk about it. So that's literally as far as my experience goes with the game. Never played it, never really felt like my phone actually was powerful enough to handle it, and even then, when it comes to racing games, I just prefer having, like, you know, an actual controller when I'm, you know, when I'm racing. So, I just never really saw the personal appeal to the game, at least for me anyway. But there were actually a couple of other interesting updates for this DLC as well. I will try to go over some things. I probably won't cover every little thing, because, you know, at the core it doesn't really matter too much, but one of the main things that happened, as far as, like, gameplay is concerned, is that strategies where people could, like, stay in the back and item grind, those strategies are not as effective. I think those strategies are generally called, like, sandbagging. I think they actually balanced that out a little bit, where, you know, some players can't really do that. So, like, if you're in the back and, like, you're trying to, like, farm for, like, a Starman or a Bullet Bill or something and smuggle those items into a higher placement, you can't really do that as much. Given I don't exactly know how, like, you could balance that, because, you know, there is an aspect of the game where it's like, you know, all the players who are maybe not as skilled who are gonna be in the back, they kind of need, like, items to kind of catch up, I guess, but, you know, I'm not a game developer by any means, so I'm sure the decision was carefully thought out. But yeah, that was one of the, like, big, like, general gameplay changes they made. But yeah, that was Rome Avanti. I know I didn't discuss it that much, but again, a lot of these tour courses are, I hate to say it, a lot of them are just kind of samey. Like, a lot of them feel the same. Like, I couldn't really necessarily tell you, like, one unique thing about each of them, except in a few cases. Like, I know that the Vancouver track has, like, that ice hockey field. There's something with the Madrid course, which we'll be doing later in the video, that, like, you know, always catches my eye. You know, there's, like, the Los Angeles, like, pier and everything, which I know I referenced as Grand Theft Auto San Andreas when we talked about that. So, you know, there are definitely, like, unique parts of each of those tour tracks, but, you know, they're pretty basic. Like, I wouldn't say they're bad by any stretch. They just don't really have, like, anything that really makes them stand out that much. It's like, hey, you're racing in, like, a real-world location, is basically all it is. So here we have DK Mountain from Mario Kart Double Dash. I believe it also came back in Mario Kart Wii as well. And I like this track. I will say, I think I actually prefer this version of the track more than the original versions. For one, I feel like this bridge, which is normally hell, is actually not that hard to traverse in this version. Plus, it's just kind of neat that, like, they kind of widen the track a bit, it feels like. Normally, when I think about, like, all the booster pass courses, I always think about, like, oh, they're trying to scrunch in all these tracks, but it actually feels like this track's pretty wide. Especially, like, right here, when you, like, kind of open up to the mountain and everything. It's, you know, kind of neat. Yeah, I like this course. I like this course. I think this is definitely, I think, one of the best additions of the DLC, of this DLC pack. Is it the best edition, though? Well, we still have 6 other tracks to play through, so, you know, we'll obviously see if that's the case. I will say that I'm not really, like, too familiar with, like, shortcuts you can take in these tracks. I'm sure, like, a lot of the same shortcuts that are, like, in these tracks and, like, their vanilla incarnations are available. I know there's, like, some parts of DK Mountain where you could, like, you know, boost across a gap and everything. I assume those are still, you know, doable to some extent here. But, you know, I admittedly haven't tried too much. I'm just kind of trying to play these courses in their vanilla incarnations. As far as other implementations into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, another thing that they actually added was in online mode, you can actually open friend rooms without having people in your friend list, which I think is a really smart thing to do. Especially if, like, you're streaming. And, like, you know, you don't want to, like, just keep adding people to your friend list if, like, someone comes to your stream. Like, here you actually have a way where it's like, okay, well, here, I'm going to hide the code so just not anyone can join in. But if you want to play, I'll give you the code. And you can jump in and, you know, not to worry about creating a tournament or anything. Which is honestly just a nice little quality of life change, I will admit. So, kudos to the developers for implementing that. I think overall that was a good choice. As we move on to Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii. I think I heard a lot of people really wanted this track in this game. And when I heard that it was in Mario Kart Tour, I kind of figured, well, I could see them probably putting this in. I'm not, like, really a huge fan of this track, but I think it's fun. I think it works. It's just a very basic circuit track, but, you know, unlike the general aesthetics that you have for circuit tracks, this kind of has, like, you know, a nice little lakeside feel to it. You have this, like, you know, these fountains that you go around. I like how it's, like, you know, Luigi and Daisy, but then also Baby Luigi and Baby Daisy. It's like, damn, they were really forcing those two together. Even when they were babies. I don't believe in arranged baby marriages, okay? Where did that bomb come from? I think someone must have threw it from the other side or something. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, I guess. But yeah, it's really cool that they actually added, like, you know, I was predicting 3 characters, or at least, like, 2 characters from a list of 3. And then it's just like, oh, let's just add all 3 of them. And, like, I didn't quite get exactly what I wanted. Because I think I said, like, okay, a combination of these 3 characters, the return of either DK Jungle Parkway or Mountain, which, again, we did get that. And then, like, also just, like, a new Donkey Kong Country course to kind of coincide with, like, the fact that there's been, like, a rumored, like, Donkey Kong Country game in the works. And then they'd also reveal that, and then also, oh hey, DK64, that game is going to be on NSO now, but, you know, it didn't get everything, but still, just the fact that I got the characters down was pretty cool. And I mean, all the characters made sense. I mean, Diddy Kong's always been, like, a veteran. I mean, he was in Double Dash, he was in Wii, you know, he's been in a lot of Mario Kart games as it is. Funky Kong was, like, the character from Mario Kart Wii. Like, I mean, there's still people who play Mario Kart Wii with Funky Kong. There's at least, like, I think 1,000 people playing Mario Kart Wii with Funky Kong at any one given moment in time. And then, of course, Pauline, like, she's a kind of a character that's been really prominent in Mario spin-offs, like, within the last generation. Well, with Odyssey and everything, so it makes sense to put her in the game as well. So yeah, those 3 characters make sense. Where the hell Peachette came from, though, I'll never understand, and I never want to. So let's not get into that. We already have Peach, Baby Peach, and Pink Gold Peach. We didn't need a Peachette. Just saying. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Piranha Plant Cove. This track's kind of cool. Like, I heard, like, a lot of people talking about this track. And, you know, a lot of people thought, okay, this track is actually really neat. And, you know, it is neat, but I think my expectations were a little higher after hearing what I did. Or actually, I think there was like another like Piranha Plant course that was in Tour that a lot of people were expecting, but that one didn't get chosen and this one did instead. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, but still, I mean, I do kind of like the aesthetics of this. I mean, you know, you're kind of driving around a cove, you go underwater, there's some pretty heavy underwater sections. Aesthetically, I think this track looks really good. Like, I think I do prefer this over, like, the last course, for example. Like, I will give it that. There's more going on here. And it does seem like every lap is different, which is always a plus, because, you know, you're not just doing, like, the same thing over and over again, which is always good. Man, if that was the last lap, I would have just, like, barely won. I mean, I'm still in first now, so I guess I still would have won regardless, but... Still, again, that was a close blue shell impact, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's, this is gonna bring an end to the, Mario Kart 8, Deluxe. You know, the era is over. You know, all these courses are out now. The game's officially finished. You know, Mario Kart Tour is wrapping up new content. You know, it's getting to that point where, like, you know, developers, they're gonna need to start focusing on, okay, well, Mario Kart 9, what are we doing? Like, that's like the next step. I mean, they've closed out essentially 2 Mario Kart games. You know, that is the next thing to focus on, so... I feel like next time we hear of Mario Kart, it'll probably be Mario Kart 9. Or let's just say the next Mario Kart game. I know there's a lot of people who are like, well, technically you could say Mario Kart Tour's Mario Kart 9. I don't. I can't see the Tour games as like... Like, I can see them as like a joint venture, but I just can't see Tour as a mainline game. It's just so much of a different beast, I think, that you just can't really call it Mario Kart 9. That's just my take on it. I'm not trying to start any arguments. I'm not trying to fan the flames of discourse or anything. That's just the way I see it. Okay, well there we go. That is the Acorn Cup. Overall, it's all right. I mean, I think DK Mountain is like the big standout here for me. But yeah, it's a pretty cool cup, and we get our 3-star ranking for it as well. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the second cup, and I hope you guys don't mind this being a very long video because, admittedly, after we complete this this cup, we are going to get some additional credits, and the credits are new. They're credits that are, you know, that are part of just the DLC pack. So as a result, they are going to be new content that I'll show off. But yeah, for the Spiny Cup, we have from Mario Kart Tour, we have Madrid Drive. From Mario Kart 7, we have Rosalina's Ice World. From Super Mario Kart, we have Bowser's Castle 3, or just Bowser Castle 3. And from Mario Kart Wii, we have the Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road. And actually was... Okay, yeah, so Rainbow Road was in the Moon Cup as well. Interesting, okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the last cup of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Man, it's just so crazy to think about. Like, we have, at this point... There's 8, 12... There's 24 cups in this game. 24. 20 frickin' 4. And, like, it's like, what, 96 courses overall? Like, this is such a huge Mario Kart game. You know, it doesn't have everything. You know, there are some tracks I would have really liked to have seen. Like, you know, like, I think... What they do with Bowser Castle 3 is really cool. but I would have liked to have seen like one of the 3D Bowser castles, like either the N64, honestly, maybe even like the Mario Kart Wii version of Bowser's Castle. That would have been pretty neat. So, like, seeing either of those would have been cool. But I think that the one they picked was kind of neat with what they did with it. But yeah, we'll obviously go over that later. But yeah, this is the Madrid course. Madrid, Spain. So we're in Spain right now. You know, shoutouts to Spain. Spain does look really cool. As I get hit by a red shell. There is definitely one part of this course that I always remember from the, well, technically only 3 times I've raced on it. I was actually really happy because when I was going for like all the 3 stars, like a few days before I recorded this, I actually got all of them on my first try for 150, near, and 200cc, so I didn't have to redo anything, which was really nice. I like being able to do that quickly so I can just kind of move on to, you know, my next task and everything. Man, they are being relentless against Pauline here. They're like trying to make sure Pauline doesn't sing. Because that is Pauline's thing now. Like, I mean, she poses with the microphone when she does a trick, so... You know, singing is definitely her thing. She is the jump-up superstar lady. I think there's even like an animation where she does start singing, like, while, you know, you're racing and everything. Yo, I got a double bomb. I'm gonna hold on to these just in case. Fortunately, I can't really do much about that blooper. But here's the part I always remember about this course. This is really cool. You're on a soccer field. That's like, yeah, let's just interrupt this soccer game and just very quickly, you know, go through there. I don't... Oh, shoot. I think I should make it just in time. But man, the fact they took away both of my bob-ombs. But yeah, there we go. That is Madrid Drive. I think I like that better than the Rome course. Just by a little. I think it has like a little more going for it, especially with the soccer field and everything. But yeah, like I'd say probably on the lower end of this DLC pack. Here we have Rosalina's Ice World, and you know, I really like this track in the original game, Mario Kart 7, and I think it looks beautiful here. I forgot how like gorgeous this place looks. You know, it's a snow course, but you know, it has that like galaxy flair to it as well. Heck, I think you can even see like Good Egg Galaxy or Gateway Galaxy or one of the galaxies, one of the main galaxies of Mario. Oh, jeez. Okay, that was probably a bad place to use my mushroom, admittedly, but it's okay. We have plenty of time to catch up. But yeah, it's just a very beautiful course. It's a really nice looking course, and it's kind of funny. I feel like I have like mostly negative associations with this course. Because I remember, like, I don't know, like, it's just, like, I feel like in some of my friend groups, like, there was just, like, a faction of people who, like, really hated this course for some reason. And it's just, like, I think it looks cool. I think it looks cool. I think it plays nicely. I think the only, like, kind of, like, downside as far as, like, the track layout goes is probably this part right here. I'm always, like, not sure how exactly I want to drift. And I imagine if you, like, switch carts a lot, that could be, like, really, you know, disorienting. You think it goes one way, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't control that way. But you can tell this course was in Mario Kart 7 because, you know, it has that whole thing with, like, okay, well, there's, like, a above section, and then there's an underwater section. And then through different laps, you'll go to different sections, like, which is kind of a common trope of its time. But I am destroying this race right now. God, I didn't even see anybody on that straightaway when I finished it, so this will be a pretty easy victory for me, I think. Now, I did talk about the items being more balanced to, like, kind of prevent, like, item smuggling and sandbagging and stuff. I think another thing that was changed, at least from what I read from patch notes, was that the item boxes actually respawn a little quicker after a player grabs them, which is nice. Because one of the biggest annoyances, at least for me, when, like, racing online is just, like, you know, I'm racing behind someone, I'm in second place, but I can never get an item because I'm, like, right behind the first place person. And, like, I always miss an item as a result, so it's, like, you know, really annoying. But I think that actually the change they made does kind of mitigate that a little bit. Okay, so next up we have a blast from the past, Bowser Castle 3 from Super Mario Kart. Now, here's the thing. This was one of my least favorite courses in Super Mario Kart because it's just so frickin' hard. It's like, you know, very tight quarters. You have some, like, very awkward turning. The computer players always seem to know how to race on it. Here, oh my god, it's so much better. Like, just the fact that they opened it up a lot, like, there's just, you know, more space for you to roam. You know, it's still kind of challenging, like, I obviously fell off right there. But, like, I don't feel like I messed up the entire race because I did that. And that was a common feeling I had in the Super Mario Kart version, so, you know, I think they definitely improved this course. It's just really cool how it has, like, different layers to it as well. You have, like, small little shortcuts you can take, depending on, like, what items you have, or if you're using a cart with good acceleration. You know, a lot of stuff of that nature. But yeah, this is a testament. Also, I think Pauline was actually trying to sing right there. I think this is a testament to, like, how good the track designers were for Mario Kart 8 in general. Because, you know, you have a lot of courses like the Mario Circuit from GBA. Like, they did a lot of good with that for Mario Kart 8 when that was first revealed. Because, you know, it's a flat track normally, but they actually, you know, gave it some lift with the anti-grav and everything, which just kind of made it more interesting and a more fun track to race on. And yeah, this is just, you know, more proof that, like, you know, you can do a lot, even with, like, a course that's normally flat, by just kind of taking the anti-grab mechanics of Mario Kart 8 and just kind of adding, you know, just a little bit of a spin to it. Not even that much, just, like, enough to, you know, make it feel like a whole new track completely. That's honestly, like, kind of my problem with, like, some of the other DLC tracks that were from, like, Super Mario Kart or Super Circuit, was just that I almost just feel like they didn't do enough. Like, they could have done so much more. Like, Sky Garden was admittedly kind of a disappointment, I think, because it's just, like, it just didn't really feel like Sky Garden and just didn't really, you know, give much of an impact. But then you have tracks like Ribbon Road and, you know, like I mentioned, the Mario Circuit, just the normal Mario Circuit track from GBA that just get, like, completely, like, you know, reformed. But yeah, I'd say Bowser's Castle 3 is definitely, like, it's a very welcome surprise. But this has got to be, I think, maybe the MVP of the entire Booster Pass. Because, I mean, Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road is a really difficult track. And, you know, I'm not saying this track is easy by any means, but, like, I feel like you feel, like, you feel the grand finale epicness of this track. And I think it even does it better than Mario Kart 8's normal, like, Rainbow Road, you know? And it just, I don't know, it just feels like a perfect grand finale. And it's just a really, really fun course to race on. I think it handles like all of the anti-grav and all the like hand glider stuff very well. And you know, it still feels like, you know, its original rendition too. And if anything, I think it even feels better just because I think the mechanics just are better in this game than they are in Mario Kart Wii. So it just looks really cool. Looks really cool, and I'm really happy with this finale. Okay, we're gonna keep on racing, baby. I'm not gonna try jumping over here though. I think I was just used to 200cc because the last time I played this was on 200cc, so I could jump over those like circles pretty easily. Can't really do that this time though, obviously. I know one thing that they could have done this for this version. I'm glad they didn't, but this track is actually a section track in Mario Kart Tour. And I know that was like, you know, my friend Bowser Girl, one of her biggest fears was that, oh, they're just gonna make this a section track again. But no, they actually have all 3 laps, so this is probably one of the longest courses in the entire game because of that. But you know, it kind of deserves to be. It's the, you know, it's Rainbow Road. It's the finale, you know. Yeah, I keep trying to do that. It doesn't work, Slim. It doesn't work. I probably could if I was, you know, better at the game, but like, I was good at this game for a while. It's just I kind of took a bit of a break from it after a bit. It is kind of funny though, like as soon as I take a break from the game, it's like, oh hey, here's DLC courses. It's like, oh wow, well, I guess I'm not really gonna be racing on those that much, but still. It's been fun coming back to this stuff, so I've enjoyed coming back to this game. And there we go, guys. We have done it. We have gotten 3 stars again. We have raced on both tracks. We are done with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And what a fabulous, glorious game it is. So we're going to get our trophy. And, like I said before, we're going to be given the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass credits. So these credits are completely new. They came with the Booster Course Pass as well, as you might expect. You just see some screens from the tracks you got through the Booster Pass. You see some of those, like, you know, cute little advertisements that you normally see. Some snapshots of characters racing in these racing environments. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, what can I say about this game that I haven't already said? I think this is the definitive Mario Kart game. Mario Kart's just been a series that, like, no matter what, it always improves over time. You know, I'm really, like, passionate about this game, but, you know, when Mario Kart 9 comes out, I'll probably be thinking that that's the best Mario Kart game ever made, but I honestly do feel like this game really stepped up its bar. And not just because of the amount of content, because again, like I said, this game does have 96 courses now. But even before it had 96 courses, like, for the longest time, like, I was even fine with just the, you know, the original, how many, like, 24 tracks? Hold on, 4 times 4, 16, 32. Like, I was just fine with, like, the original 32 tracks in the game. But then they're like, oh, hey, let's have DLC. Let's increase that number to 48. And then it's like, oh, hey, let's just double that number to 96. So yeah, there's a lot of content here. And, you know, I feel like the gameplay and control is very, very good. You have a lot of options as far as vehicle customization. I think the game itself just feels very fluid. I personally don't care about all those, like, auto brake and auto steer stuff, but, you know, if you're not into that and you know, doing the manual stuff, you have that option. So, you know, it's a Mario Kart game that just has a lot of accessibility, I think. And, you know, it has a very active online community because it's, again, the highest selling game on Switch. And, like, who doesn't love Mario Kart? You can probably find communities for this game everywhere. You can find people in any kind of community that'd be down for racing because it's Mario Kart, it's fun. So, you know, it's just a game that has a lot going for it. And, you know, if I had to say one thing about this game, is that as far as, like, what it could add, you know, I wish it'd add something like, you know, like the old mission mode from Mario Kart DS. You know, something like that. I feel like that's the only thing kind of holding back this game from being, like, perfect. You know, it plays well, it controls fine, always a fun multiplayer experience. The online is phenomenal. Like, all that stuff is great. Like, all that stuff, all 10 out of 10s. Like, easily. But, you know, it's just missing that, like, little extra, like, charm to it, because, you know, like, after you do, like, a bunch of racing for a while, you know, you're kind of tired, you kind of want to do something else. And, you know, stuff like the mission mode or just some other, you know, some other alternate gameplay options, I think could make it interesting. And who knows, maybe in Mario Kart 9 they'll kind of start, you know, looking into that. Mario Kart Tour was even kind of an experience in itself, or an experiment, not I guess an experience and experiment is still kind of the same thing, but you know, Mario Kart Tour was a bit of an experiment with trying, like, a slightly different gameplay style to Mario Kart, but, you know, I'm not saying go down that exact road, but, you know, kind of think along those lines, I guess. Because, like, even, like, Mario Kart Wii had, like, that, like, online tourney mode. Like, every month there was, like, a event you could do. Like, even Mario Kart Wii had that. So having something like that for the next Mario Kart, I think, could give some extra longevity to the game, I think. So, you know, I'd love to see something like that. But there we go. Credits are over. We got a little thank you promotional image. Looks fantastic. Nicely done. Let's move on back to the main menu. The last thing I want to show off before I close this video. I talked about this new menu option. This game actually has a sound test now, or just like a music selector. So you can pick some of your favorite tracks in the game. Just go to your course and, you know, pick the song you want to hear. I, of course, want to hear this song because it's quite easily the best song in the game. Okay, guys, well, I think that's all I gotta say. My voice is really starting to fade away, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. This has been SlimKirby. Thank you guys for watching the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe playthrough. It's been a blast. As far as the future for me in this series, obviously I won't see you guys until Mario Kart 9. But, you know, every now and then I might do some community stuff with the game. Might bring back the Star Warrior Cup for a tournament or two here and there. So yeah, stay tuned for any of that stuff. But until then, this has been SlimKirby. This has been Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Later, folks.